in spiral faces. You know what I mean? Primus, how you doing, mate?
Hello, Tomo. I'm doing all right.
Right, okay.
What was
So,
that laugh? That was like a evil plan being made there.
it will be. So tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we've got quite a lot to get through. We're going to try and get through it as quick as we possibly can because we have a Scottish theme tonight. That's right, we have four. What? Four? I hear you say four? That's right, we've got four special guests on tonight. So I will tell you who they are when I invite them, and they will be properly introduced as well, which is going to be absolutely fantastic as well. So, anyway, so basically moving forward, so we've had quite a lot go through tonight. We've just gone to Belgium, and it's been entertaining, chaotic. I don't even know where to start. Primus, where do we begin?
I'd say we'd begin really with interesting, really, because I know we've had a fair share of like action and chaos with Spa, but it's been an entertaining week nonetheless, and it all began with F2 really. It was me and Bodder Sunday. Yeah, the F2 lot coming into Spa. It's round 13, fresh new round, and everyone was all ready. And the one person that blew everyone's mind for the week coming up, as well as all the other F2 drivers, was RSF1 Roberts, who went on for an interesting strategy of soft to mediums for the race, which was very difficult because he had to try and gain as much positions as he could in the beginning, as well as then maintain the tyres to the good point. And he managed to make the strategy go so perfectly. I think he started from near on, maybe I think it was 5th or 6th. And he managed to take the lead in the opening few laps and stay in the lead, staying ahead of Magic Marks. Magic Marks has normally been the man who's been going on the top spot for F2, and for once, I think it was actually Roberts' first actual podium in RSF1. No, it's podium, his first ever win in RSF1. So, really happy that he was there. And Magic Marks became second after trying long and hard to catch Roberts. We had some good battles going on in the midfield, between the McLarens. We had a good the Ferraris as well. I think the man with the cash was trying to catch up, and I think he started to just fall back a little bit in the end. And then actually someone who came out of nowhere, which surprised us all, was WR Stretch. It was his first ever podium in RSF1, and he was actually really surprised he even made it there. He keeps on saying it's luck, but we're just like, mate, you drove really well. Strategy worked out. It's not luck, that was skill, you did amazing. And yeah, Stretch rounded off the third spot on the podium and took driver of the day as well. So it was a good day for Stretch.
Good, absolutely, without a shadow of doubt. So, thinking about that, top notch. Obviously, I didn't get a chance to obviously watch any or commentate this week because I had a quite an unfortunate, eventful personal week. But F2 was pretty interesting. We had a few little issues. There was a lot of talk about a certain driver that everybody was talking about on the chat, weren't they? If I remember correctly, who drives a Renault. I'll leave it at that. And it was quite fruity, very fruity. So we moved over to obviously F1 on Monday, where we had the combination. Who did we have in the combination? Wasn't it?
On Tuesday.
Yeah, Tuesday. Who was commentating on Tuesday?
It was me and who was it? It's definitely me and
another busy week.
Brundle.
That's right. Yeah, you and Brundle, wasn't it, on Tuesday? So yeah, obviously Primus doing double duty as he always does. F1 was quite very, very good, wasn't it? Because I did actually get to watch F1, and I'll tell you something. Some of those moves the drivers were making was unbelievable. The battle between St. John and Dyslexic was brilliant. It was absolutely superb all the way through. It's a shame it ended the way it did with St. John because he was on for a podium. But yeah, fair play to Dyslexic, won the race. Bearing in mind that he obviously finished third in Hungary, so he was quite pleased with that. The biggest shock, I think, for everybody was it Unity? Did he get a podium in the end? Just Unity, did he? Promise?
He did. He got second place.
Unbelievable. And bear in mind, at one point he was actually sitting in like 10th, so it was looking pretty bad for Unity. But he managed to pull that back out of the hat, didn't he? So, but fair play to Dyslexic. He got a win. I can't remember who actually finished third. Was it? Oh, it was Mr. No, it wasn't Mr. Pigeon, was it? Or was it?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, because Mr. Pigeon actually overtook Unity to take second place, but unfortunately had a penalty. I was really cheering on Mr. Pigeon because I thought, you know what, yes, take second place. But he managed to get a podium. So that's 2 podiums in a row for Mr. Pigeon. So he's been turning a few heads as well. Top Notch, what did you think of F1 race if you watched it?
It was a cracking race. It was a bit of throwing a spanner in the works with some wet in the qualifying, I believe. But yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
Awesome battles up the front and throughout the field. Really good to watch.
It was. There was some really aggressive moves being made that a lot of people were talking about and stuff like that. But you know, I have to say though, watching the move that Dyslexic made on John overtaking him to literally on a Rouge, absolutely, you know, it was like as if he was wearing stainless steel underpants. That boy, it was unreal. So. You know, I couldn't believe it.
That's some commitment.
That is, especially as a lot of people was having problems, you know, with obviously with that track and stuff like that. So it was actually quite interesting to sit down and watch. So we got rid of F1, and then it all came to F3. Qualifying was interesting, to say the least.
F4.
Oh, F4, sorry. F4 was, I keep forgetting that. I keep on swapping us around, sorry. So F4, yes. Thank you very much, Primus. Qualifying was very interesting, at least. And then we started the race, and it was going to be a dry race. Everybody was like looking forward to a very dry race. And it was carnage. Unfortunately for you, Primus, you didn't have the best of stunts, did you? It was you. Because going into it, you was sitting very top of the table, and obviously you had Tigisaurus, who was there, who was battling you for the championship. Mr. T. Oh, actually, speaking of which, Mr. T. We'll come to Mr. T in a minute. I'll come to his little announcement later on. Mr. T as well, who was doing, you know, qualified pretty well and doing extremely well and all that sort of stuff. And it was just like, it was carnage, wasn't it? I mean, I'll come to you in a second, Primus, because obviously you had a bird's eye view of it. But Top Notch, what did you think of the first 5 laps of F4? Did you sort of sit there and go, holy crap? Or did you actually turn around and go, finally?
Yeah, I thought, yeah, I've got to do that all night. It was entertaining, obviously. It's great to watch, but you just know that when you're sitting in a car and you've got 20 people to go around, one of the trickiest turn ones for sure, because you think that you've got a wide space, which you have, but everybody want that optimal line, you know, so it just gets so tight in there. It's great to watch.
Yeah, it was definitely great to watch. But Primus, unfortunately, you didn't finish the race, did you? So you didn't get any points for F4. The fortunate thing was, obviously, your championship rival, Tigisaurus, didn't get points. McCracken managed to score some points. But obviously, Mr. T ran away with it again.
No, Mr. T actually crashed out. He
yes, he did. Yes, he did.
Inters change and
he crashed out. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I remember, because obviously everybody's like, yeah, Mr. T's running away from it, and next thing you know, Mr. T retired because he crashed because we went on the inters. I mean, I can't say
actually, much. The real interesting bit is Mr. T was being tailed by Alco Saints, because it was Mr. T first, Alco second when the inters went on. And somehow Alco managed to completely get ahead of Mr. T in the pits and then get out with a good portion of time between him and Mr. T. And
Yeah.
then I think Mr. T just came out the pits, had an issue immediately, and I think he crashed somewhere along GP2, the straight going down to Eau Rouge, and he lost it there. And
Yeah.
I don't know how Alco actually got past him, because that was a massive jump he made on Mr. T.
Yeah, fair play to Alco, by the way, because he actually won the race. So well done to Alco Saints for actually picking up 25 points for Red Bull. So they actually really changed his things completely in the F4 Championship, because after the race of F4, it was announced that Mr. T was being moved from F4, and he is now going to be applying his trade into F2. I think it's F2. Yeah, it is F2, isn't it? He's going into, isn't it, Primus?
Yeah.
So fair play to him. It was great battling with him, but he was really, really quick for F4. And I just want to wish him all the best for F2. I know he's going to literally turn a few heads around there, because I reckon he's definitely F2 based. And of course, tell you what, Primus, you must be absolutely drooling sitting there with Bozo, going to be the first two people to actually commentate on Monza in F2 with some really good. It's fast tracks. It's going to go flying by. So that's going to be good.
Definitely excited for F2 on Sunday, because we generally have some good races in F2, consisting of Roberts and Brundle and all sorts, and then Toby being the new person to jump into the fray. Because do keep in mind, Cross Kerry went from F3 to F2, and he's done some really good battles. And I wish him all the best when in his new position in F2. And I have a feeling he may be fighting for a few podiums. 'Cause obviously, it's a bit too late in the championship for him to contest for the win. But I definitely think he'll get the odd win, maybe a few podiums. I have faith in Toby. He's a really quick driver.
Yeah, he's definitely a good quick driver. But we also had a couple of debutants for F4. We had Scotsman, and we also had Quaker. Was it Quaker Oats? Yeah, it was Quaker Oats, wasn't it? Quaker Oats. He was in there as well.
It was actually quick.
Yeah, he was. He was doing very well. Both of them came in and did a fantastic job. Steve did a good job. Obviously, now he's finally got his seats, so he was very happy and stuff like that. And of course, we had a new commentary team. We had Shane and we had Element Snow. And I have to say, I was sitting there listening to it, and I have to say, do you remember I remember Guns N' Roses, when Guns N' Roses first came out, and you had Axl Rose, and he used to talk to me, it's like, yeah, how you doing? And when he goes on the stage, he's like, he had Cebu Honey, he was making him say, yes! No, I mean, I bet that's what Element Snow is. Seriously, that's what I reckon. Element Snow's got some honey on the side, just going, right, here it comes, and he takes it, he's like, oh my God, it's honey! I have to say, it was brilliant. It was absolutely fantastic. It was like, so everybody's
That's bang on. That's a bang on impression.
It is. You know what I mean? It's like, so well done, Element. You had a load of honey there, because I'll tell you what, every time I heard it, it was like, oh my God!
You're kidding
it was
me,
brilliant.
Dude. You're kidding me.
But
Yeah, the thing I liked about F4 was it was good to see other drivers up front. There was Tijosaurus was out, and yourself, Primus. It was good to see some other drivers up challenging up the front for sure.
Yeah,
I do
opens up
agree,
the challenge at the championship.
When some of the top spot drivers, like myself, Tidge, Spiral, I thought McCracken went out as well because of the incident going down that straight. I thought he was with me as well, but he actually, I didn't even realise until I DNF'd that he was still in the race. And then, as much as it's annoying, because if you're leading the championship or you're getting close to the lead and you DNF in the race, you're like, oh man, I'm going to lose my ability to catch or get away. But then in that race, they gave people like Quaker Oats. I have to give him credit, and also my sympathy, because he unfortunately did crash on the last lap in the same place John did in F1.
Yeah, that was unreal.
But
he was literally 2 corners away from getting second place, and unfortunately lost it. And everybody was like, no!
He tried so hard to catch it as well. You could see.
Yeah. He was doing so well for the McLaren, and Spiral was like really, because I think Spiral actually crashed out as well. He was out as well. So Spiral
he got caught by Tidge.
Primus, Tijisaurus, the three top runners, all didn't score any points. It was a big, it was a huge shake-up for F4.
And that's
because
props.
obviously
That's props for the guys that finished as well. That's a hard track. It shows because the guys that are leading the championship didn't finish. That's brilliant. It shows that.
Yeah, I mean, Alco Saints is turning a few heads as well. Obviously, Wadders. You got some of the new drivers, like for example, Scotsman did very, very well. I mean, unfortunately, I did crash out, but I still managed to finish in 10th and get a point, so I was quite happy with that. Even though it was unbelievable. I got nothing but mouthful reviews, obviously. So happy days. I'll take that. But yeah, I mean, obviously, we've now got Belgium out of the way, thank God. And now we've got Monza, one of the most iconic tracks, absolutely iconic tracks of the.
Can't wait.
And more importantly, it's the end. It's the last race of the European season. I can't wait for. I really am looking forward to Monza, and I'm really going for it because I've been setting some really quick times in time trial. I've been doing low 120s, which is the fastest I've actually been so far.
I did a 1:19.8 in my times. I got really, really quick around there. And, I am a bit bummed as well. It's the last of the European tracks because, Monza, as you say, is a classic. It's an amazing track. And, as much as I'll do tracks like Singapore,
don't
Brazil.
Be bummed out because we have got a whole host of iconic tracks. I mean, Top Notch, you'll probably agree with me on this one. We've got some great iconic tracks. We've got Monza coming up, which is coming up this week. We've got a great race coming up in Singapore.
That's a great track.
We've got Suzuka coming up, in Japan. We've got, obviously Brazil. We've got coming up. We've got Abu Dhabi, which I love. Abu Dhabi. A lot of people don't like it. Go for it.
Monza's the second to last for F4 because Monaco's at the end.
Oh yes. Oh yeah. I forgot. We still got one more big iconic track. Cause we've got a race Monaco at the end of the season. Very end of the season.
For everyone else, it will be the last European track, but for us, it will be the second to last.
Well, not just us. I think, if I remember correctly, I think it's either F1 or F2 have to race there, Monaco as well. Because it wasn't just F4 that lost out on Monaco. I think there was another division, and somebody will probably back me up on that
with
one.
France.
That's right. Yeah,
I think I remember. Yeah,
France.
it was them.
That's right. Yeah, it was F1 with France. So F1's still got one more race left in the European season, which is right at the end. But let's put that aside. We've still got Suzuka coming up. We've got Singapore coming up. We've got Monza this week. We've got Brazil, literally right around the corner. It's coming up thick and fast. I actually personally love Abu Dhabi. I think it's a great Yas Marinas. I think it's an awesome track. A lot of people don't like it, but I think it's a great race. It's a great track to finish off on.
Beautiful track.
Top notch. I mean, obviously you mentioned Brazil, but we've got 5 juicy, iconic tracks still to race. Which other than Brazil, which other one are you looking forward to?
I can tell you one I'm not looking forward to, and that's Japan. I really don't like Japan. It's just so tight, I find. It's really, really tight. You go the first 2 sectors, maybe, and that's just too tight, Like, it's really close racing around there, so...
Well, I mean...
It'll be interesting.
Yeah, I mean, Japan it's one of the most iconic tracks. Obviously stitched in a massive history, massive controversial history with Ayrton Senna and Alain Prost. Obviously two seasons in a row where Ayrton Senna had the championship ripped from him, and then the next season he actually got him back. So so it's quite amusing on that. I actually, do you know what? Japan is one of my tracks. I really love Japan. I don't know what it is, but every time I race in Japan, I just seem to get better and better and better at it. I'm also looking forward to Monza, and also Brazil, not so much. Brazil, I need to sort of work on it. And Abu Dhabi, I'm looking forward to it. But what about you, Price?
I like Abu Dhabi. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Excluding Brazil, as you said,
yeah.
Singapore definitely, because I know that's just literally down the road now. Singapore, it's had its fair share of action, Nelson Piquet Jr. hitting the wall. and then revealing that he was actually ordered to by the Renault team. Singapore, definitely looking forward to. I'm not going to say it's my favourite track because it is definitely a difficult one, but it's definitely up there in my top 5. But one I am actually really, really looking forward to Japan because I personally think it's the most fun track to drive on. No matter what game you're playing, it is just so fun.
Yeah, it's the quick S's in the first sector. And then you really got to pay attention because obviously once you go around Spoon, you can actually do it in like third, fourth, maybe fourth gear, really push it. And as soon as you get right down to the 130R, absolutely full throttle, flying all the way down. It's a shame there's no DRS actually, perfectly honest, because it would have been DRS, but then obviously it would be a little bit dangerous because obviously you have to brake
the slight curve,
brake a little bit because of the slight curve of full throttle going flying around, and then of course you've got the quick chicane and just into the pit straights where a lot of people have been hit that little bump right before the pit entrance and either really spin it off and smash their car into the pit entrance yeah, but anyway, so we've got some great tracks coming up. We've had a driver move up. We've had some new drivers come in. And we're also getting loads of new drivers coming through to RSF1. RSF1 is just moving forward in pace. And I think, for me, I've really enjoyed this season so far. Obviously, I wasn't really enjoying it in F3 because I didn't think I was... I wasn't... quick enough. I wasn't competing where I wanted to compete, and then I got moved down to F4. And since I've been in F4, I've actually managed to compete much better. In the top half of the table. I don't know what your thoughts are about it. That top notch. I mean, what do you think?
Yeah, I feel comfortable in F3. I feel like I had a bad start to the season, but I've really enjoyed it. It's my first ever league, so I'm just trying to learn as much and trying to fight as much as possible, as clean as possible. Just try and get as fast as I possibly can. Keep up with the front guys.
Primus?
Same as Top Notch. It's the first ever time I've ever gotten into. It's the first time I've ever been into league racing. Really, that I've never really been into any online competitive events or anything like that. This is literally my first ever thing I've ever entered into, and I've had a really good strong season so far. I've had my couple of moments where I've gone out. We all do because stuff happens, but I feel if I do stay within the top 2 by the end of the season, I will get moved up to F3, and if I do go up, I will miss the F4 pack, but there's still the rest of the season. Someone might knock me down. I might stay in F4 for the next season if I manage to knock me out the top top few spots. But
basically, guys,
yeah,
you never know what might happen in the future. But obviously, I know the committee guys are working in the background. Constantly looking at ways to improve the league and making sure and basically,
got to give them mad respect for that.
They've been with all of them. Obviously, Rebster, Porter, Bodder, Junior, who's come back. Obviously, it's been great to have him in the league and racing as well. Shane Roberts when he was in there as well. All of them have done such a fantastic job for running this league, and they gave me an opportunity to get the podcast. I mean, we've had 5 episodes, and it's moving forward, and we're doing very, very well. Now, time to move on because, and excuse me for this because I need to do this, okay? Because obviously I'm going to get these guys in. But before I get these guys in, I think it's only fair that we do this properly. All right, okay. And also, I know I've been told we can't use songs or anything at all because it's copyright. Well, this is not copyrighted because we tonight have, like I said before, we've got 4 special guests tonight. And it's a very interesting sort of special guest because basically all 4 of them are from Bonnie or Scotland, man. You know what I mean? And I'm actually really interested in speaking to all 4 of them because at the end of the day, we have 4, as I said, 4 Scotsmen. 4 bloody Scotsmen. And trust me, ladies and gentlemen, right, if you don't like swearing, you better turn away now because I'll tell you something now. I've told them to keep it clean, but they're Scottish for crying out loud. You know what I mean? So you just never know.
So, discretion is advised. If you don't like strong language,
you know
please
what I mean?
click off now.
So, in the most professional way, the following article will contain such things as vile language. Viewer discretion is advised, and please, if you do not wish to listen, please turn off the Xbox.
Turn off, don't go play something else. Just turn the console.
Turn off the Xbox. Turn off the Xbox and go and wash your ears out because you will need it. Now let's see if I can try and sort this out here. As we try and let's see what we can do. Here we go. So here we go. So let's see if I can try and sort this out because I want to get this all sorted in because this is going to be very, very good. I think, hopefully, he says. So with that being said, I'm just going to play this in the background and we're going to invite these guys. I don't believe I'm actually.
I'm waiting for this. We're in for a treat, top notch.
So here we are in for a treat.
I can
Here
imagine,
we go.
mate.
This is for the boys. This is for your bonny old Scotsmen out there that are going to join us with their foul language. I thought I'd just bring you in properly. Here we go. All right.
He knew it was coming.
I knew. It's bagpipes.
Clap along, people.
It will be copyrighted.
Clap along. Clap along. Come on. Let's have a look. Where is he?
He's playing it, but none of them's joining.
I know they're not joining it. I'm not joining with that fucking bagpipes playing, man.
We've rolled the red carpet for you.
There's one of them.
Oh god. There's one.
There's one. I'm trying to find the cracking. Where is he? Where is that boy? It's Rex.
Oh my god. This has been the best podcast episode thus far.
This is for you, man. What's the matter? What's the matter, Luke? Something like that. What's the matter?
Oh my god.
It's a Scottish theme, man.
It's actually starting to hurt to breathe.
There you go, just for you there, boys.
Please make sure you've ticked the audio boxes in the parties to involve your audio, please.
Right, oh yeah, exactly, yeah. And also, I need... Where's the other guy? Where's McCracken? Somebody get McCracken in here. Should be in here. I mean, so... all right, well, as soon as he comes in, those bagpipes are coming back on. Oh, look, there he is.
Oh, no.
Quick. There we go, on a bit. McCracken, just for you, pal. Come on. Just for you, pal, to make you feel right at home.
God damn it.
Oh, dear, that was great. That was great. Oh. Right,
oh
good evening,
God.
gentlemen.
I don't know how I can see how
I
much
have to
I hate
say, you know what? I mean, I don't believe it. I fucking hate you, Tomo. So anyway, thank you very much, gentlemen, for joining us. It's really appreciated, and obviously I'll try to make you feel at home, but there you go. With all the bagpipes. So let's start with... Because I know you're Scottish, you love your bagpipes, man. Anyway, so let's get this cracking, okay? So we're going to start with... let's start with the youngest of the group. Let's start with the youngest of the group. Mr. Easton, thank you very much for joining us. And welcome, you know what I mean? Welcome to our Scottish themed podcast. Did you enjoy the bagpipes?
Not really, no.
I know, right.
Brutal honesty.
Right, absolutely shite. Right, anyway, so Easton, so let's talk about you for a second. Obviously, you've only just joined us as far as league racing is concerned, and you've started turning a few heads with some of your race results. How are you finding it in F3 racing with Mr. Moran next there?
It's quite fun.
Is it quite fun?
just-
Is it? Oh, thanks. I'm not going to take the meter. No, I can't. I don't know because the thing is,
trying
okay,
to.
here's the thing.
With
Here's the-
every ounce of determination.
No, I'm not trying to do it. All right, let's leave it at that. All right, we're gonna do it. But anyway, no, Easton. Right, okay. Now the thing is, right, okay. There's something that you guys don't actually know, and Morix knows, and some of the other guys know, is that when I first interviewed Morix, Easton, nobody told me that he was 12. Aren't you, Easton?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. So when I said, Easton, congratulations, well done, all of a sudden I got, yeah, all right, yeah. Jesus Christ, you know what I mean? I didn't know what to say to myself, but I try to give him as much time and all that sort of stuff. But he's a he's a good driver though. And you, Easton, you're a good driver, aren't you, buddy?
Yeah. I'm sure. Yeah.
yeah. So, piss off, you English bastard, you.
To be fair, I heard good things in advance before your first real good result in the league from Bodder, because Bodder'd race with you in another league, and he got onto a podium with you. I think it was actually in Monaco, as he said, that you both got onto the podium, and then when he heard you speak, he was just like, crikey, I wasn't expecting that. But then he had respect for you because, at a young age, you knew so much about, like strategies and all the technicalities to league racing and all that. And, Bodder just said when we was in the stream, keep an eye out for Easton. He may be young, but he knows what he's doing.
I agree with that.
Yeah, I remember
Definitely,
that one
actually.
myself.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, mate, I'm still getting over it. So let's talk to your rival, shall we? Because for some bizarre reason, you, Route 915 and Moronix seem to have this little bet going on between the two of you, or between the three of you, shall I say, that who's going to be the fastest, who's going to set the fastest lap, and you try and outdo each other. And Moronix, you had a really good race for F3. I think you finished second, didn't you?
I did indeed.
So, after let's just say, the unbelievable bad result in Hungary, that must have been a breath of fresh air to actually get a second in Belgium.
Yeah, Hungary was a very bad race for me. Easton obviously won that race as well, so he gained a lot of points on me. But Rhombus was in the same kind of situation as me, although I didn't get spun out. He obviously did get spun out during the race. And so yeah, going into Belgium, I needed a good result. So it's more of a relief than anything. But I'm glad to be back to the ways of being on the podium anyway.
Both you and name, to be honest. 915 both made a good recovery week, to be honest, because you got second and 915 actually won the race.
Oh, look who it is!
Hey!
Hey! It's the bagpipe. Oh, mate, you missed the bagpipes, man.
Oh, did I really?
So, anyway.
Sorry, the band have run out of breath, so unfortunately
don't worry,
they're
they'll
not
be
going to be
coming
able to
out
play
a bit
again.
later. Don't worry, they'll be coming out just for you there, buddy. You know what I mean? So anyway, but let's move over to actually, I'll tell you what. Let's go to our newest driver. Bonny old Scotsman over there, you know what I mean? The Scotsman himself.
All right, folks.
Nice to meet you. All right, dude. How's it going, man? You know what I mean? Now, congratulations.
That's a shit accent, mate.
Yeah, I know it is. That's why.
Sound like groundskeeper Willie out of The Simpsons.
Thanks very much, man. So, now obviously, now you heard obviously it was a Scottish theme. You wearing your kilt with your sporran and all that sort of stuff, are you? Or you not bother wearing it?
Actually, I was wearing that about a month ago because I just got married. So I do wear it.
Oh, did you? Congratulations,
oh, aye. Cheers, mate.
Congrats.
Yeah, what's his name?
Congrats, mate.
I don't know, yeah. It's going to be the Phillies boss.
Was his name Jock by chance, was it?
No, that's me.
Oh, is that you? Is it? Hey, Jock! Yeah, fucking alright, man. But no, on all honesty, I would say welcome aboard.
Cheers.
Nice to see you actually in the league. You had a really good. Actually, you turned a few heads. Actually, perfectly honest, you was actually doing really well.
Aye.
How did you find your
close.
first race in?
Do you know
in
what?
F4?
It was really, really good. It was exciting. You're sitting at the start of the race, like your heart's sort of pumping. And so the main thing I was thinking is, don't wipe anyone out. That was my main thing. But then see after it, even although I think I wiped out on the 13th, 14th lap or something, well, that was the third time I wiped out, but I retired about the 13th, 14th. And do you know that scene on, was it Need for Speed? What's the racing one with Vin Diesel and that?
Fast and Furious.
Aye, Fast and Furious, the first one. So
Yeah.
see, after the big race and that, Paul Walker walks up and he's like, "I nearly had you, man." And a big smile on his face. That's exactly what I was like when I wiped myself out. I was like, "Fucking yeah, I just done well." Because I lasted 13 laps. I don't usually.
Okay, now listen to this. You know what I mean? Jesus Christ, you know what I mean?
No, it was
Or
good.
he thinks he's like, you know what I mean, giving it all the big one. And that,
I was
and
really
by
good,
the way,
man. I
that
really
heart
enjoyed it.
pumping, man. That heart pumping wasn't to do with the race. That's all that short pretend you've been fucking eating. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Like,
sugar rush, mate. Sugar rush.
The fucking sugar rush. You know what I mean? Yeah, he's pumped up. Adrenaline's pumping for the sugar rush, man.
I would have said it was Iron Brew, but I think I'm on the sugar free now.
I think so as well, man. But last but certainly not least, Mr. McCracklin. Lisa McCracklin. You know what I mean? God bless him.
What'd you want?
What you want? You know what I mean? The man that every time I speak to him, he goes, "I'll fucking hit you."
I'm just an honest man. I'm
said
just
it
an
first
honest
before.
He
man.
hasn't said it for a while, actually. I mean, I'm getting withdrawal symptoms. He hasn't said it for a while.
Moronics filled in for you there because as you were playing the bagpipes, all I heard was, "I absolutely hate you."
Come on,
I
you
think that
must
was
have
still
known
me.
something. You must have known something was coming. Come on, Moronics. I mean, this is me you're talking to. You know what I mean? What's the matter? Yeah. But anyway,
Yeah, it caught me a bit off guard, to be honest.
That's the whole point, buddy. But McCracklin, how you enjoying?
It's definitely not
racing
McCracklin.
with-
Stop saying that.
It's McCracken.
Oh yeah, it's
McCracken.
Oh yeah, I forgot. It's McCracken. He's cracking
Phil-
under the pressure.
Phil McCracken.
Fucking thing. Yeah, McCracken. Fucking hell. It's a new version of the shortbread tin. You know what I mean? So anyway, McCracken, you must be enjoying F3. Obviously, battling and all. So, oh yeah, F4. Fuck.
He's in
I'm
F4
getting in
because he's
with
in with me.
All right, Scott.
Is that 'cause I should be
You
F3?
know, why'd you
I'm
knock in
joking,
something?
I'm joking.
Fucking hell.
Oh yeah.
Fucking great place. Fucking hell. Been here for
I've
5
already
minutes.
not
Give
got
it another
any.
big one.
Wait, hurry up and ask me what you want to ask me.
Shut up, you tart. Anyway, fucking Scottish. Anyway, so, enjoying F4, yes or no?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's been fun. A bit of ups and downs. I've not really raced the way I want to race, but I'm still there. I'm still a contender, so I'm happy with that. And the constructors is looking interesting. I'm just glad it's probably one of the most interesting leagues, to be honest. I'm not just no offense to the other leagues, but it's the closest when it comes to the championship. There's 4 or 5 people that could be winning it.
Yeah, there is.
And I'm not one of them.
I mean,
so
like
that's
we
all
were
right.
just discussing this actually before you got. We mean you were already in it. Do you know what I mean? So listen, you got married a month ago. He's going, fucking like me, man. I'm fucking in there.
dirty
Now,
You say that we're the ones that
talking
swear a
earlier.
lot to.
You know.
exactly.
You're just taking advantage of this, aren't you?
Yeah. No,
Because you did
no.
the disclaimer at the start.
Yeah.
Let's blame the Scots.
That's what we did because we were basically. You even turned
We
around.
did.
You even gave me a warning. You went, I could join, but I
Yep.
swear a lot.
Yeah, no. It's now that I've heard Easton's voice, he sounds a little bit young, so I'm trying not to swear as much.
He's heard
Nah,
that.
fuck him.
I'm pretty sure. Actually, hold on a minute. Yes. Actually, hold on a minute. Let's
I'm
just
only
get this all
joking,
out of the way. So, Easton, whereabouts in Scotland are you from?
Round about the Glasgow area.
Glasgow area.
Oh,
McCracken.
big man, like that. Glasgow.
Cracker's Glasgow. He's definitely a Glasgow
Sorry
boy.
to hear that.
Ronix?
Ollies. In the sticks, because they're weird.
I don't know, I've
I'm on
never
the
heard that
outskirts of
place.
Glasgow.
Oh, that's in Glasgow. Of course, last but not least, Scotsman.
I'm in between Edinburgh and Glasgow.
Oh,
That's
in
dangerous.
between.
Any closer to Edinburgh, I'm going to be talking to you.
And in between, I'm West Lothian, pretty much Bathgate.
oh wow.
So it's slap bang sort of in between Edinburgh and Glasgow.
So you're 50-50.
So they wages you won't understand him as much. I'm just
That's what you think.
posher type of Scottish.
No, there's no such thing. There's no such thing.
That's true.
Alright. But so anyway, guys, I'm absolutely very happy that all four of you have joined us tonight, and obviously I know I'd sort of took the mic, but I had to. It's part of the rules, part of the podcast. Yeah.
Sorry, mate, just look at your name and that says everything.
What's wrong with his name? Come on with
If
me.
you can.
I'm not from Kent. I just did it because I had enough of you lot
You're
going
from
on
Kent,
there.
mate.
I'm not from
Just
Kent.
admit it.
You know what I mean?
Just face the fact.
So where are
mate.
you from then?
You know what I mean? It's right. And listen, I'm
To
actually
be
from,
fair-
to be fair, I'm actually from Essex. But for some
Essex.
bizarre reason,
That's not much better, though,
But
is it? Really?
it doesn't help your case
Hey!
though that you
Whoa,
named
whoa,
yourself
whoa, whoa,
King
whoa, whoa, whoa,
Kentish.
Excuse me,
Essex.
excuse me.
Jesus
fucking
Christ.
Glaswegian, you. Right, okay? Let's get something fucking straight here.
They're not
Eh?
here, no.
Fucking none of that shit. You know what I mean? Tough spot.
That was actually a better accent, that one.
Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah.
Well
Gary's
done,
just
mate.
turned out saying Iron Brew should have a photo promo.
Iron Brew.
Oh God. Fucking yeah. Apparently, according to what I understand, the Scots love fucking Iron Brew.
He said it in a
But yeah,
chair.
Captain
That's
Iron
just
Brew.
that's mate,
great for
call
a
me
hangover,
Captain
my
Iron
man.
Brew, and I don't even
Honestly.
drink it that much. Aye, for a hangover, it's what
Oh,
you
it's
need in life. But I'm
Iron
off all the
Brew.
fizzy drinks now, mate. So I'm off it all.
Oh, well,
I've
what,
only seen like
Kaiser?
the videos
They
of the
get-
angry Scotsman.
McCracken's gone on Slimming World for a wee bit to see if he can shave some time off his laps. That's what it is, my man.
If you want to shave some time, I got a
That
new
brings,
drink for you as
that
well.
brings a whole new meaning to the word, you fat bastard, you.
You might come
Wait,
in,
get
mate,
out.
we'll see.
Out.
Oh, there he
My
is.
times
Get
are
out.
just shit anyway,
Get
so
out.
I'll stay fat.
Get out of it. Go on, clear off.
Get out of it. Go on, son.
mate.
Go out. Go, yeah.
Get out.
okay.
Get on, piss off out of here. We don't want you
get
here.
out of
Go
it.
on, clear off. Thank
There
you.
he goes.
Unbelievable.
He be called King Barrier. Camel.
Don't you start with that, man. You know what I mean? I've heard that. You know what I mean? According to Patronus, he's like, you know, I can't believe you said, hey, be King Barrier, man. You know what I mean? Piss off, Easton. I'm not doing it. Jesus Christ. No, I'm not doing it, Easton. I don't care how many times Patronus has been in touch with you and said, go on, say it to him. Go on, say it. You know what I mean? So it's not going to happen. So, guys, I mean, obviously, we've got Monza coming up. So I'm going to go through you four, and I will start with McCracken. Monza coming up next week, or on next Wednesday. Looking forward to it? Not looking forward to it? What are your predictions?
Yeah, why not, mate? Why not? I mean, the only thing that's hard is I know it's Primus's favourite track. I'm pretty sure. I know it's
No,
quite ground
America's my favourite.
but it's up there.
Oh,
it's
sorry
up
to
there.
hear that.
Let's just say that it's up there. I know it's up there. I've
I
seen,
got
I've seen, I've seen, I've
condolences
seen
to
your
like the
TT.
United
Your
States.
TT's fast. It's faster than me, but
Yeah, it's faster than me.
I've got a good feeling. Everyone's faster than you. Let's be honest.
Wait, shut it, you sunshine. You know what I
You need
mean?
to actually
Wind
finish the
your
race first.
Wind
then you
your
can
neck
start
in
talking.
sunshine, all right? What's the matter? Yeah. Fucking.
I was in last place last game and I still finished in front of you.
Yeah, I know you did.
To be fair,
Fantastic, man. Well done.
You
Oh,
and
cheers.
me, McCracken, will have to have a little trouble because we know Alco, sorry, is actually really fast now. So you and I have got our work cut out for ourselves because you know Alco.
That's
had a
alright.
poor
Primus
start,
next
and then
time I'll just take out
he's
that
actually beating
Alco,
me.
not you.
Fair enough.
I'm only joking, mate.
Oh dear.
So, all right, let's go to
Oh god.
Easton. Obviously, I'm going to be commentating on Monza next week, so I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully, obviously your little to and fro between yourself, Route 915, and obviously Moronics down. Are you looking forward to Monza? Is it one of the tracks you're looking forward to? What's your predictions? What are you looking at?
No, I'm not looking forward to Monza at all.
Oh, really? Oh, right. Okay. Why is that?
Just corners.
Corners, yeah? Okay. I hate to break it to
Guessing
you,
you
mate,
like
but there's
the
a lot
old
of corners in
ones to
every
lay
race. You know what I mean? Just thought I'd bring
May as well
that to
change
you.
the game
Yeah,
in
no,
Indy
I
500.
know that.
I was just
No, I
making
mean by
sure.
track
Old
limits.
Monza is Italian NASCAR.
Oh, right, okay, track limits. Oh, I see what you mean. Oh, okay, fair enough. Moronics. Monza. Looking forward to it? Yes, no? Where do you think you see yourself?
50-50. Depends what happens on the day.
Oh, okay. I like it. I like it. And finally, we saved the best till last. Obviously, the new boy in the town, Scotsman, Monza. Looking forward to it. Not too sure about it.
I'm looking forward to it if I can last the first lap, to be honest with you. If I get past the first lap, I think I'll do no bad.
Just do yourself a favour, all right? Okay, I'll give you a pre-warning, and I'm sure the other guys will join me on this one. Don't do a camo. Right? Don't set a Q1 time. Don't set a Q1 time and blitz everybody. Everybody goes, wow, oh my God, we can't even make it. And then we got to Q2 and
That's amazing, and then
you
just
absolutely
falls
blow your
asleep.
load. You know what I mean? Don't blow your load, just hold it in. All right? yeah, exactly.
see that this is probably a bad time for me to join the league, because see every other F1 game that I've played, like playing the campaign or stuff like that, I've only really played so many of the first tracks. The end of the season, I've just been like, nah, stuff it. Can't be arsed, fuck it,
You
shite.
get a little bit bored, like gets a little bit samey after a certain amount of races.
But this one I've actually quite enjoyed, and I've started to play more of the end tracks. But like I say, the end half of the season, I'm just not as good on the tracks. If like the first half, I'm no bad because I know them a little bit better. But plus, I've started using it like with the gears and stuff like that. So I've tried to take off quite a lot of the assists now, and then we're using it with the steering wheel. You put the foot down just a wee bit too much, and you're off. So
You're going around.
I'm looking forward to it though. Really looking forward to it.
I think you'll be doing all right, actually. I think, I'd have to give kudos where McCracken said that F4 seems to be, everybody talks about F4. We seem to get quite a number of views when they watch it, because obviously they don't know what's going to happen. It's going to be a safety car or anything like that. Obviously, Belgium was a bit of a
kerfuffle.
Shall we say? A kerfuffle. Yeah, it was a bit of a cockswallop, really.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, but anyway,
F4's the only one that never got stopped, was it?
that was very
No,
true.
F2
Yeah,
didn't.
F4 was the only one that
F2
didn't
didn't.
actually get stopped. Yeah. Oh, and F2. Yeah, F2.
No,
didn't
F2
get
didn't.
stopped,
No, F2.
No,
No, F2
F1
yeah,
and
every-
F3 got stopped. So.
F2 were the clean guys,
I blame Camel.
F1 and 3, I think. I know F1 did, but I didn't know about
And are
3.
you
'cause I didn't
commentating
get to
on
watch it.
F4 next week?
Now, have a listen to this. Unity Hush has just said, I'm hoping for heavy rain in Monza and F1. Are you nuts?
He better,
What's wrong with you?
he better shut his mouth. No, you know what I mean?
I mean, it's all right for you.
Well,
F1
none of you
guys,
are going
but
to be in
but
it,
those
so you lot will be
those
fine.
F4 new boys, especially Scotsman, I can just go, hey! As it goes straight down.
Oh yeah, we won't be in Unity.
Don't
so,
break.
yeah.
McCracken is fighting with me for the lead. Just,
hey,
oh, shit!
don't worry about me.
You
Get slow, guys.
Swinging my sword in there.
free
That ain't
out.
your sword, man. That's not your sword.
Oh, dirty
I know,
git.
mate, I know. Well,
That's
I
not
don't
even
blow my
funny.
Trumpet there.
That ain't your sword, man.
Feel like Tom
But
charge.
anyway. Don't be like that. But anyway, more importantly, I'm really thank you so much, guys, for actually joining the podcast tonight. And it's been an absolute pleasure having all four of you, especially you, Scotsman. I know you only just joined, and obviously racing.
What do you mean especially
cracking?
him?
Yeah.
You mean especially him? What? Oh,
Thanks, man.
fuck,
Especially
you have
me?
someone there to say.
The privilege of me being here.
Oh, no, I do have the privilege of you being here, Captain.
I'm
Nine,
class.
You know what I mean?
I think he's meaning because I've just joined. I've just joined RSF, and
No, it's just
I was
still
sort
not
of
good
feel
enough,
like
mate.
that.
Scott, it's been. I'm nothing against you, but this Tomo guy, he's doing my nothing.
Don't make out you don't love
you,
it.
Tom,
You
mate.
love
Love
every
you.
second of
Love
it.
you, Tom,
alright?
mate.
Don't make out.
Wind you up, mate.
I know, man. I know. Got nothing but love for you, Kenny. Yeah, mate, I've got nothing but love
Just
for you.
trying to
my
make this
friend.
Scottish stream a bit more Scottish, you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, that's the thing. You know what I mean? So obviously you're getting more of the Scotsman in there. I see what you're doing. Yeah, saw all the
Whoa,
Irish
hey,
coming in,
whoa,
saw the
whoa, we've
British.
got a Scotsman. Come on.
It doesn't even matter.
Hey, what?
I was going to say, yeah, we've got the lone
No,
Irishman
no,
as
no,
well.
no, no, get the Scotsman off, Pepper, mate.
You want
dirty
some?
Bastard, do you know what I mean? What's the matter? Dirty bastard.
We have really got the UK in this entire podcast.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Well, we'd like to thank. Well, I'd like to thank
Unfortunately.
our sponsors of Iron Brew and Tizer. Also, the bagpipe. Obviously, I'd like to say thank you very much to the Tartan Army for sponsoring us tonight as well for these boys.
TTA.
You know what I mean? Yes, mate. But on that note, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to end the podcast. Unfortunately, it's actually been a really good laugh tonight. So it's that. Unfortunately,
Thank God.
I do apologise. You know what I mean? So
I'm going to go and catch my haggis.
you go
Go
and
on,
catch
Tom.
your haggis, mate.
Go on, catch
Yeah,
your
mate.
haggis, love.
So, Easton, thank you very much for joining. Same to you, McCracken, Moronics, and of course Scotsman. My name is King. I can't believe I'm going to say this.
King
Kentish, apparently. I'm fucking King Kentish. I mean, I'm the king. Peppermeat, of course, Mr. Primus, and of course Top Notch. We will see you back here this time next week at 8 o'clock with some new special guests. But from all of us, I want to say thank you very much and good evening.
Happy Christmas. See you later.
Meant it. Cheers.
Happy Christmas.